Welcome to the weekly close live here on the Passive Income Podcast. Joseph, how are you this week?
I'm doing all right, Dave. I didn't warn you about this, but I want to start out this week's episode with a shout out to the American Society of Pension Professionals and Actuaries, or ASPA. Hey guys, I took one of your exams this morning. It was fully online and fully multiple choice. Why does it take 3 business days for me to know whether I passed or not?
Is that a shout out or a complaint?
Both.
Okay, fair enough.
At the same time, I I just want to know, why does it take 3 business days?
Yeah, that seems odd, right? I'm going to give myself a shout out for not wearing a hat right now and really enjoying my hair growing back.
If you want to call me out for what I said when we first hopped on the call, I get it.
Yeah, you were like, new hairstyle? I'm like, no, I'm just not wearing a hat. So
Shows how much
there's the
attention I
hat.
pay.
It is right here beside me in case I do need to put it on. But, the Passive Income Posse. Click that subscribe button. Okay, Joe, you know the routine. I'm gonna pull up the closing numbers for the week, and this gives you an opportunity to shout out anything and everything that you want to shout out
I guess
beyond what
now,
you already did.
I guess now is when I should have done the ASPA thing. But I guess, hey, as always, the exact same thing I shout out every single week: marketplace.com, at Marketplace app on basically every social media. I was given the green light to release a couple new marketing images this week.
Oh, okay.
A
This sounds
couple a
cool.
couple
This sounds cool. This is
screenshots.
good.
So yeah, feel
You
free
have
to
something?
head over. I mean, I tweeted them out, or well, I tweeted out the main one. I've got a couple more on the way. Actually, also, if you want to go to just marketplace.com, we updated the landing page with some screenshots of what's to come. Actually, no,
Nice. So yeah, you
he,
guys
he,
are
he didn't put the one.
progressing. I know it's like every week for a few weeks now. You're like, I can't say much. I can't say much. So now you're saying a little more. So that's good.
We are. I mean, I'm gonna knock on wood here. Okay, my dogs thought that was the door. We are pushing for a release this year, like within hopefully the next 3 to 6 months. I guess 6 months push it in January. So more information is going to be flooding in very, very soon. We've gotten some sign offs and some approvals. Things are looking pretty good.
Nice, nice. All right. With that said, let's get into the closing numbers for the week. Starting as always with the Toronto Stock Exchange, the TSX Composite, closing the week at 21,875. Today was very red. Over the 5 day, though, not bad. Last week was pretty rough, so it's kind of had a little bit of a bounce back this week, which is nice to see.
And real quick, while you're paused, shout out Dividend King. What's up? Thanks for joining the stream.
Yes, of course. Yeah. Jumping quickly over to the S&P. The S&P 500 just keeps, again, red day today. I'm not sure what really went on in the markets today.
Dave, they watched the debate.
Oh, geez. Okay, we'll talk about that too. S&P 500 in USD closing the week this at 5,460. Again, the 5 day is red too. I thought the 5 day would be green on that one.
Look at that Thursday spike. Like, look at that all-time high right there.
Yeah, that Thursday spike. Wow. Oh,
Good times.
22. I did not realize. Actually, that says Friday. That's a Friday at 10 a.m. Is that right? Or is that Thursday?
Your screen's way too small. There's no chance of me reading that.
Yeah, no, because I'm actually on the page, right? So I'm looking at it, but it does say Friday at 10 a.m. 55:22. Unreal. I did not know that it had that spike today.
We should hints of a rate cut in September. Hints, maybe hints of
a Fed rate cut in the U.S., right?
Hopes and dreams of a rate cut in September, I think is a better way of putting it.
Right. The Dow Jones closing the week at 39,118. Red on both the 1 day and the 5 day. Ooh, look at this on the Dow. What happened here on
Dow's been hurting. Dow's been getting hit hard lately.
Wednesday morning? Wow. Wednesday morning it took this awful. Well, I mean, buy the dip. It's not awful if you're buying right there, right? But look at Look at this on Monday morning. You're up at 547, and then
can you pull the 1 month chart?
1 month. Yep. Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
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 Oh, look at the green.
I was about to say I know the Dow's been getting hammered, but I actually have no idea how bad.
Yeah. So I mean, again, always long term, right? You're up and
Oh,
to
of
the right.
course.
Keep
Uh,
holding, and this is only 1 month. Like, let's for fun jump over the max here on this one goes to May 1st, 1992, and the Dow Jones is at 3,396. So if you
it's
invested
grown a little bit.
$10,000 in 1992, look at how well you've done. Literally, what is that? 32 years later.
That math sounds about right.
And we will once again look at how much I cannot afford to go to the US. We did gain today. Here's the
You
one day.
recovered.
Yeah, here's the one day. So, but still 73 cents on the dollar. Oh man, I need to figure out a way to start. Oh, even the 5 day we're in green. The 1 month we're in red. The 6 month we're in red. Year to date we're in red. 1 year we're down. 5 year we're down max. I
Uh,
didn't.
I was about to say, could you look up the USD versus the yen? Because I'd like to make a proposition.
I don't know. Can I do that? I'm sure I can. USD.
Because like I have an idea that could benefit both of us.
Yeah. Well, I already know that I'm a multimillionaire. If I converted all my of CAD into yen, I'd be a multimillionaire in yen.
I was gonna say because right now, as of like right now, one USD is 160.88 yen according to Google. Yahoo, you're right there,
0.83
same kind
according
of
to
spread.
Yahoo Finance. I have it pulled up here.
Yeah, but yeah. Point here is that if you pull up like that year to date chart or that 1 year chart, Dave. What if instead of you coming to the U.S., we both went to Japan and lived like kings?
Yeah.
You could introduce me
Except
to a
does everything
keto.
cost? Does everything? Yeah, we'll get to a keto here in a minute. Sorry, which one do you want me to pull up? The 1 year chart on this?
I was thinking any of them year to date, 1 year, 5 year,
Oh, here's the 1 year.
ooh, even the 5 years
144
have
though,
been rough.
like the max on the currency exchange seems to be okay. Here's the 5 year 108.
Yeah, the yen has been getting absolutely hammered. We are on 38-year lows for the yen versus the dollar.
Yeah, I saw that like 1980 something, 1986 or
So,
something.
so yeah, Akito, hop in the chat real quick, say hi, and me and Dave will meet you for coffee.
Exactly. We'll fly to Tokyo. We'll be there by Monday morning. Monday's a holiday in Canada, so I can be there. I can take. Well, I already have the day off work, so
I'm fully remote. I could go work from Japan as long as I work U.S. hours.
Yeah, you would just be up in the middle of the night working the hours. Crude oil, New York Mercantile Exchange, a barrel of that crude oil. Who doesn't want a barrel of crude oil at $81.46 USD? Red on the 1 day, red on the 5 day, green on the 1 month. Big dip in oil here in the 1 month. Not sure what happened there June 4th. Big dip on oil. Not sure what happened back there, but hey.
Somebody out there probably knows.
Bitcoin in Canadian dollars. Bitcoin never closes, but I just kind of go through this every week because it's here 82,441. Actually, I believe Bitcoin is right now below the 60,000 USD mark.
I would say that would be closer to like 56, 57,000 USD.
Gold, Jerry, gold. In back to USD, closing the week at 2,336, almost 337 there at the 90 cents, but we'll call it, yeah. And jump right over to the NASDAQ, closing the week at 17,000. 732 again. The 1-day. You're right, man. Today, all the markets are red. Was it all because of that debate last night, or lack of a debate, or?
I was saying, I'll be honest. I kind of figured it was better for me personally to just not watch the debate. Let's get a little political here. I'm not really happy with either candidate right now, so I kind of just.
I actually just before we went on here, I sent out a tweet. I don't think you've seen it yet, where I said I'm not American. I was not born in the U.S., but if you would like me to be your next president, just let me know.
I think there's one law against that.
Yeah, the part where I wasn't born in the U.S.,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I mean, you don't have to be born in the U.S. Like my brother wasn't born in the U.S. and he could be president.
Oh, huh?
But
that's because he has American parents.
Well, he was born on an Air Force base in Spain. My dad was deployed.
Right. So
yeah.
But
no, the whole fact of you being a Canadian citizen would cause slight problems.
Hey, well, get me a green card and I can run for president. Right. Did I even get to this number yet? The NASDAQ at 17,732. Does that sound right? Is that right? Is that right?
Next week's episode of the pod, we're going to get Dave married for a green card.
Yeah, okay. The FTSE. Jump across the pond to our friends in the United Kingdom. Joseph, do you know the difference between Great Britain and the United Kingdom?
You've asked me this before. And in theory, yes. But in practice, no.
It's pretty simple, actually. So first, we'll just get to the closing number. This is in GBP, Great British Pounds. The FTSE closed the week at 8,164. It's very simple. Great Britain is England, Wales, and Scotland. And then the UK is the United Kingdoms of England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. So basically, just remember to add
maybe I didn't know that. Because that's not what I was gonna. That's cool. You know what? Actually, that's for everyone watching at home. That's word for word what I was gonna say. I had a map ready. But
okay.
For
and
just
finally, we get back to Akito over there in Japan, watching us on Saturday morning, as he always does, and the Nikkei closing at 39,583 in Japanese yen, which we have established is about $4. Give or take, right?
there might be a slight rounding error in there.
Slight. And of course, I cannot afford to travel to Europe either. The Canadian dollar to the euro is at 68 cents. I can't believe. Wow, we really took a while here on the closing numbers this week, and I'm okay with it. I'm here for it.
I'm just surprised we got through a whole closing without you saying quid.
Damn it. I missed it. I missed my opportunity.
You only get one a week.
Next week for sure. Oh, here we go. Shout out to Dividend King TSX. Good afternoon, watching us from Alberta, Canada. Great follow over there on Twitter/X if you want to give him a follow. He's a great guy.
Say, man, that's still late. He said that like 10 minutes ago.
Well, because I was on another page, man. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm not blaming you. I'm blaming the pop-up.
Oh, where are we? Okay, what are we getting into next? I guess the earnings calls of the week. We'll get to Monday here shortly. And I know you want to talk about Beyond Air.
I was very disappointed to learn what they did.
It's not Vegan Air?
It is not Vegan Air.
That is truly unfortunate. Give me another second here to get the graphics up for the you just got to hit the share this tab instead. Okay, we're good.
We do this every week, ladies and gentlemen, every week.
Every week I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing here. It's like we've only been doing this for nearly 6 months now.
Oh God, it really has been. Wow.
Yeah. February. I think, did we start in January or February?
It was either late January or early February. I don't remember exactly.
So,
but yeah, it really has.
every week. Joseph has only missed 1 week. Shout out to Savings Captain Tom on the week that Joseph missed.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Savings Captain Tom just in general.
Yeah, always, every week, right?
I mean, like I say every week on this podcast, ladies and gentlemen, if you're enjoying the podcast, please subscribe to the Passive Income Happy Hour. If you think we're being immature, childish, and overall annoying, then thank you for tuning into the Money Happy Hour. But in all seriousness, I love Tom. I love his, like, by far my favorite. I've told him this too, and I'll tell everybody. Tom has my favorite podcast on the internet.
Oh yeah, Tom.
It
Tom
is
great.
very good.
Yeah.
And also, he pays Radish well, so I'll give him some points for that.
Well, Radish is doing okay for herself on the portfolio.
I've seen.
Yeah. Before open on Monday, Money Hero. Get rich and get off the grid. I don't know. What does Money Hero do?
So I wasn't going to bring up Money Hero until you brought it up. I mean, Money Hero, it's a Singapore-based company. I mean, they're pretty standard. They do insurance, they do credit cards, they do loans. It's kind of, I mean, in a way, I want to call them the Singaporean SoFi almost. But they IPO'd in December of 2020 at $11 a share. Today, they're trading at just short of $2 a share. So that's, for anyone keeping the math at home, that's down about 83% in about a 3.5-year period.
Ooh, that's rough.
Which, man, they're penny stocking hard. It's kind of weird. Like, you can see their stock chart. Like, they fell off really bad in September, October of last year. So, like, September 29th, 2023, they closed at $10.37 a share, down about 5.5-6% since IPO. And then we fast forward just a month and a half later, November 17th, 2023, they closed at 80 cents a share.
Oh, that does like that. Stumbling for words to say that hurts my heart, right?
I mean, welcome to like wild unprofitability. I mean, they were only founded back in 2014, so they're only a 10-year-old company. I mean, I feel like, especially in the financial space, maybe we don't expect them to be profitable yet. I don't know Singaporean banking laws, but if it's anything like U.S., the asset requirements and the insurance requirements, they're very, very expensive.
Right.
Company came in. I could not find any real news. No one really seems to care about this stock, and for good reason, because who really cares about the $2 Singapore stock with a $73 million market cap? I get it. EPS ratio of about negative $15 a share, price to earnings ratio. Came in negative 30 cents a share was their EPS. They're losing money, which actually is like a huge improvement. They lost like $2.50 a share 1 quarter.
Oh, so they're losing less money now. So
they're
that's
losing way less money. They're losing like 1/10 the amount of money.
I still don't like to invest in companies that lose money. That doesn't seem like a winning formula to me, right?
I mean,
not financial advice. I'm just saying.
I was gonna say, like, you can lose money for a long time, whether that's a good idea or not. I'll let you manage your own portfolio. By the way, stock's down pretty bad. Actually broke even pretty well today, down 13% on the week. Surprisingly up, actually, after that 13% drop, about 14% on the year. But then we go back to, September 2023 was less than a year ago, so stock's down like 82% year over year.
Interesting.
But, that's what you get for playing the game.
Interpack Tool Group. Do you have any idea who these people are?
I do not. I'm a Milwaukee man.
Yeah. I would love, if I was still working construction, which I did for so many years, I would be all over Milwaukee, but they are so expensive. DeWalt is really good quality, and
I can say the only reason I'm a Milwaukee man is because I haven't had to buy any of my own tools yet.
Oh, yeah. Well, once you do and you realize that, Milwaukee tools, the batteries are sold separately and the batteries cost as much as the tool does. And you're like, oh, okay.
I realized that someone, a guy, I got married a little bit less than 2 years ago, and I got a bunch of Milwaukee tools, which was great because they weren't even on our registry. I just kind of appreciated it.
Yeah.
But yeah, somebody, wow. I'm not going to mention any name, Dad, got me.
Yeah, some guy, Dad, that knows you're going to need tools. Here's some tools.
Well, I'm specifically calling him out because he got me a Milwaukee leaf blower, which I don't know why I needed the brand name leaf blower, but I guess I did. He didn't buy me the battery for it,
Oh, and
which
then
is significant. I haven't gone out and bought it. Like the battery itself, when I went to Lowe's, was significantly more expensive than the leaf blower.
yep.
Whereas I could just get like a brand new, some weird brand leaf blower for like half the price with the
Yeah.
battery included.
But I'll tell you what you pay for those Milwaukee, those batteries, those like I think they're now called M18 fuel cell batteries. Oh, they're worth their weight in gold. I've used them. They'll run like almost all day long on a construction
Oh,
site, right? Like,
I only have to charge mine every couple weeks.
yeah.
They're nice. But to get back to, I guess, who's actually reporting, let's talk about the vegan air company.
Vegan air. We're gonna have t-shirts soon and hats. Vegan air. We're selling vegan air, man. Beyond air.
I told Dave this, like when you say beyond anything, my mind goes beyond meat. Who of
Yeah,
course
of
is the
course. That's what we
vegetarian
think. Beyond
vegan
meat,
place.
vegan.
So when I saw Beyond Air, I was like, I don't want to Google what they do because I just want to believe that it's vegan air. No, it's medical devices.
Unfortunately, they are not vegan air, but
But just like our last friends over at Money Hero, they're wildly unprofitable.
of
No,
course.
no, actually, I mean they're a 2015 medical device startup. Which I can tell you from experience from working directly with a few medical device startups, you either come out of the gate wildly profitable or wildly unprofitable. There is no in between. I lost 36 cents a share this quarter. We're estimated to lose 48 cents a share, so we do see some growth. But to say shaky futures, to say the least. Dave, how far did Beyond Air stock price fall this week? Take a guess.
80%.
Okay, it's not that bad. It's only 58.
I was actually thinking 50, and then I thought the way you said that, it sounded like it was going to be more than 50. Okay, so
I mean, it's still an absolutely ridiculous amount. Like, and if you go back to it, so pre-earnings, June 24th, which was Monday, I believe. Yeah, Monday at 3 p.m., so right before earnings were released, stock was up 15% on the week. People thought this was going to be great. And
then
then
not so much.
immediately not so much. Stock then proceeds to crash from up 15% on the week to down about 51-52% on the week. They have not had a good week, to say the least. I mean, it's a medical device company. You win some, you lose some. I really don't know what to say. It's I don't want to call it a boomer bust industry because you look at like the booming companies who are here and they're going to stay. Like Johnson and Johnson is Dividend King, is it? Or are they they've been paying for a long time. Are they an aristocrat now?
I think they're aristocrat.
An absolute, I mean, not investment advice, but absolute blue chip. There's a lot of like space in the medical space to be profitable and like grow and become a blue chip, but XAir ain't there yet.
Okay, well, that was Monday.
Yeah.
Let's get into Tuesday. What happened on Tuesday? Carnival, TD Synex, Airship. Ooh, Airship.
What is
and then
Airship?
FedEx in progress. So
Okay, Dave. What is Airship? I actually don't know.
I have no idea.
What
is that the cruise line Carnival? It must be CCL, right? Carnival
it
Cruise
is?
Line.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who actually had a heck of a week, up 16.5%, and was surprisingly profitable. And analysts were expecting negative 2 cents a share, coming at actually 11 cents a share. Surprise profit. They beat revenue really a lot more than what people expected. Margins were pretty good. Yeah, I mean, of course, you can't. I hate to keep bringing this up because I know I brought this up 3 months ago, and I'm going to bring it up when Norwegian reports again soon. But I mean, God, we all know what happened to cruise ships in 2020. You know, they did it. They did, and then they didn't. So like Carnival is still down 59% over the last 5 years.
Ooh.
Like this is a stock that was trading upwards of $50 a share as soon as January 2020.
Yeah.
And then come March, they crashed down to about $8 a share, and now they're trading about 18. So we're still looking at an absolutely massive hole for them to climb out of. But they've been showing a lot of progress. Of course, I mean, as we get further and further away from the 2020 lockdowns, in theory, the world shall open more back up.
Yeah.
And more people are looking to go on vacations, cruises, even specifically. And Carnival's going to be, I mean, I have
Well, all
heard,
the cruise lines, right? Carnival,
well,
Norwegian,
I,
and
I,
the others.
I would argue Carnival stands to benefit the most. Like I mean this in the nicest way, but I've never been on a Carnival cruise, but I've heard several people refer to them as a floating Walmart,
Interesting.
which is to say they are by far the cheapest cruise line. And if you look at prices, they are.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get the exact same cruise for like half the price as Norwegian, and and I hate to say it, with this economy and this tightening of the money supply or the high interest rates, and the average American kind of being a little shaky in their finances right now, but who still wants a nice vacation, Carnival's poised themselves pretty well to give it to them.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and yeah, why would you pay whatever $1,000, $2,000 more to go on a different boat? You're like, I'm going on a boat or a vessel, whatever you want to call it. Right?
I'm gonna use the term boat.
Yeah,
No one can, no
yeah.
one can convince me otherwise.
Do you have anything else there for TD Synex or Airship? Because I do want to
I,
get to FedEx actually.
I don't know what either of those companies do, so now.
So my point on FedEx is earlier this month, I'm not sure if it was June 4th or June 5th, FedEx Express and FedEx Ground finally merged into one company. And personally, I couldn't be happier because honestly, it was a gong show before. Maybe I shouldn't say gong show, but it was like, and again, going back to like my day-to-day work life, my day job, where I literally had a representative from FedEx Express say to me, and this is going back several months before the merger, if you wanted me to, they were from FedEx Express, and they were like, if you wanted me to look up something for you on FedEx Ground, I would not have any more information than what you could do yourself by tracking the tracking number on the website. And it was just like, like, wow, really? Like they were two totally separate entities. And so finally they have merged as one, FedEx Express and FedEx Ground. I believe the name is now FedEx One, but I could be mistaken.
I remember we talked about this like 3 months ago,
Yeah.
and I don't remember what we decided. I'll be honest.
Anyways, do you have any numbers for FedEx from this week after that merge?
Oh, of course we have numbers for FedEx this week. Like FedEx is, I don't know, a hot take, probably the biggest stock to report this week. I know we got a few
Yeah,
nice
there's
ones
also
coming up on
Nike in here
Thursday.
on I think the Thursday. But okay,
I
yeah, FedEx is a big one for sure.
At this point, I'm going to say this now. I'm not going to be hating on Fiverr investors anymore. Nike investors, I want to have a little talk. That said, FedEx up about 18.5% this week. Like the stock went right after earnings. And I mean, it was a heck of a call. They came in at 541 a share actual over 535 a share expected, which, I mean, all right, you saw a decent little earnings beat there. But the big kind of thing for FedEx right now is their CEO, Raj, I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name, said back in like 2023 that rather, than increasing top line revenue, which of course is always important, he felt FedEx's big thing right now should be to decrease costs, go into cost cutting measures, increase their profit margins. And this was the first earnings call where FedEx like really showed that was not, locker room talk. That was an actual company commitment. Um, of course, we saw a 4% growth in slight growth in revenue, 22.1 billion for the quarter, which is absolutely ridiculous. Saw a 4% increase in net profit margin, which is absolutely huge. Capital spending decreased 16% year over year to come in at 500 million less than what FedEx even said it was going to be. Operating margins increased, gross margins increased, and then even looking forward to the next year, FedEx is still expecting that top line revenue to grow by like a low to a mid single digit. So we're probably looking at like a 2 to 6%. As well as they keep seeing those capital expenditures and their overall costs dropping significantly. So there's a real chance that next year we could be looking at, we're looking at How would I say the revenue was again? 22.1 billion. We'd be looking as low as 23, 24 billion. Now, low, of course, is 23, 24 billion, but seeing as much as 7 or 8 billion in gross profit. Or excuse me, I quoted that wrong. God, my notes this week are a mess. Let me tell you, Dave. Net income 1.47 billion for the quarter on 22.1 billion in revenue. We could be seeing that as much as 23, 24 billion, slight growth in revenue, but seeing that as high as 3 or 4 billion, just increasing profit margins. Granted, I'm almost definitely over exaggerating. I mean, that'd be 100% increase in the profit margin year over year, basically. But FedEx has shown that they are committed as a company to grow that bottom line through any means necessary. Which, this is. I'm going to call it Fiverr Invest. This is exactly what Fiverr said they were going to do in their earnings call. But unlike Fiverr, FedEx really has the footprint for it, in my opinion. I mean, you've got USPS, you've got FedEx, you've got UPS. UPS is a dumpster fire. Sorry, investors, but it is. USPS, they're not publicly traded. They're always going to be a federal program, so there's only so much they can do.
Yeah.
It's FedEx. They got the world in front of them.
Well, it's the same thing here. Actually, U.S. Postal Service and Canada Post work together. Like, so when something gets shipped internationally from the U.S. using the U.S. Postal Service, it gets transferred into Canada Post. But FedEx and UPS and Purolator, they're international. And by the sounds of it, from what you're saying right now, is FedEx is kind of winning that battle between
by far. That FedEx, yeah. UPS had a weird 2022 and a really, really rough 2023. And it's kind of obvious they're still trying to get off their feet.
Right. All right. So FedEx good. That's what we're going with here. Not FedEx, but FedEx good.
FedEx good.
Progress, or are we going to jump over to Wednesday?
I'm going to jump over to Wednesday because you keep naming companies I've never heard of.
Before we get to Wednesday, was it Tuesday or Wednesday that Chipotle stock split?
I don't know the day, but oh my God, was it insane?
Yeah, I believe it was after hours on Tuesday, so that the split was then basically available on Wednesday morning. I could be mistaken, but I think it was around those days. And so, yeah, basically Chipotle, pretty much the biggest news of this week, right? We kind of have to cover it before we keep going on the earnings calls. What was it trading at? Like over 3,000 USD per share,
so,
a 50-to-1 split, so about 60 some dollars.
Let's hear
in USD.
Closed today at about $62. Multiply that by 50, and that's about 3,100. So yeah. You're right there.
Yeah, I believe it was over 3,100, like with its fluctuations up and down.
Yeah, and actually the stock is down since the cut. So yeah, probably it looks like so they closed Thursday at $66 a share. That's 3,300 pre-rate or pre-split.
Well, I'm gonna have to cross the border again soon just to get me some Chipotle.
Highly recommend. Big fan.
Yeah, is it that good? Is it worth me driving like 3 hours just to get some?
No. But like it. Here's my hot take. Somebody said this. Maybe I feel like it was probably SoCal Gula, but it may have been Palm Investing Dave. One of those two said it. I don't know why I'm getting those two confused. This was 6+ months ago. Mentioned that like Chipotle and McDonald's are about the same price right now, at least in most parts of the U.S. And Chipotle, you get more, better, healthier, higher quality food. That's a win. That's a huge win.
Yeah. Well, you said it. You said McDonald's, so I'm gonna complain again about the $5 value meal not being available in Canada. Just had to throw that out there.
They know Canadians don't have $5 to spend.
Yeah, not with Trudeau in office for the last nearly 10 years.
I don't know enough about Canadian politics to comment on that. Like I believe you.
Wednesday before open, Paychex, General Mills, and UniFirst. What do you got there?
A little bit. Now, each of these I kind of like touched on at a very high level when I was going through these. So there's actually a lot I want to talk about for Wednesday, Paychecks. I always got to shout out Paychecks. I work with a lot of these payroll companies, HR companies, however they want to brand themselves. Paychecks, by far. Shout out to you guys. You are by far my favorite and the easiest ones to work with. Love you guys. And wow, when I ask for, like, unlike some of your competitors who I think I'll get in trouble if I call out, but there's one who goes by a 3 initial name, starts with a vowel. And man, you guys actually get done what I want you to get done when I ask, unlike all your competitors. So I do appreciate you guys. Paychecks down about 6.5% this week. That all said, did slightly beat earnings, $1.12 a share actual, $1.10 a share expected. Paychecks doing really, really well in the revenue department right now. So I guess the question is, the stock's down. Where did Paychecks go wrong? I don't know. They really did, and they didn't. Like, this is. I used to have a teacher in high school that used to say, "Here is what you're expected to do for my projects. If you do everything on this list, you get a C, because you did exactly what was expected." And this was kind of that earnings call for Paychecks. Revenue, free cash flow, profit margins, everything is kind of exactly what analysts expected. We saw a reasonable, I think, like 4.5% increase in revenue year over year. EPS is up 6% year over year, which is great. I mean, we love to see that growth and the company growing and doing well, but it's just kind of what they expected.
So that's interesting, actually. Like, first, if you do what you're expected in a high school class, shouldn't that be getting you at least like a B plus, if not even an A minus or whatever?
Man,
and then I guess my follow-up question is, so what does Paychecks have to do to earn that A?
I mean, that's a great. I mean, Paychecks is kind of dragged down right now by its industry. Because even look at ADP, something process. I don't know. I don't remember off the top of my head what ADP stands for. Automated something processing. I don't.
Is it deposit payroll? Something like that?
Automatic data processing, ADP, who is also down pretty hard. ADP, who did not report earnings this week, they're coming up July 31st. A bigger player than Paychecks, down 3% on the week, down 1% on the month, down. Let's see, what are they at year to date? Actually, up slightly year to date. Same. It's the same thing. Like, the industry right now, Paychecks focuses very heavily on small business. Paychecks lives and dies on the creation, success, and failure of small businesses. So it's not that Paychecks is doing anything wrong. It's more so that, like, small businesses aren't exactly popping up and right now and getting the revenue to justify a payroll firm.
Are we moving to General Mills?
We got to talk General Mills, because they make half of everything you see in the grocery store.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Is like, I can pretty much guarantee you can go to your cupboard right now and find something in there that's made by General Mills. If you went to the grocery store this week, I'm 95% sure you bought something that was produced by General Mills.
Oh, without a doubt. That, or you at least picked it up and looked at it. Yeah, General Mills down about 5% on the week. Saw a pretty big drop after earnings. $1.01 a share actual, 99 cents a share expected. We're going to call that about a hit. I mean, basically, we're kind of looking at same thing as, in a lot of ways, like, weird to say this across two different industries, but in a lot of ways, it's kind of about the same thing as Paychecks of demand.
You get what was expected.
Yeah, and overall, they're being dragged down more so by the industry than themselves. I mean, they did see a drop in sales, down about 6% quarter over quarter. With a lot of their, I guess you'd say, higher end stuff or more discretionary stuff not performing as well, because of course people are buying Cheerios, but not as many people are buying, like, the higher end dog food or, like, the more expensive snacks, which is a lot of the bread and butter. And I mean, they're competing hand in hand with store brands. Like, I mean, of course, Kirkland's, for the Costco lovers out there. Shout out Dividend Hero, I guess.
Yeah.
Walmart's got their own store brand. Public, everyone has their own store brand. And right now, consumers in the U.S., with the current economic situation, are continuously electing the store brands over the the name brand stuff.
Oh yeah, same here in Canada. It always has been, whether it's like recessionary times or inflationary times or whatever. like the no name brands and the generic brands here like do extremely well because you're literally getting quite often the exact same thing
Oh yeah.
with a different label on it for whatever it is, 10 cents less, 50 cents less, a dollar less, right? So
Oh, well, without a doubt.
General Mills, yeah. So just kind of wrapping up that thought, like quarter to quarter, I kind of feel like sort of like you were sort of giving those quarter to quarter numbers, and it's like big deal. General
I,
Mills,
I,
they're not going anywhere anytime soon. They're gonna still be on that grocery store shelf. You know, 3 months
I,
down the road, we'll talk about them again.
yeah,
6 months, a year, 2 years, General Mills is gonna be there. So
it's definitely the kind of stock you buy for the dividend more so than the capital growth.
right.
Like I mean, they're almost as blue chip as they come.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, for like a for that type of industry, grocery store, retailer, or product, I guess, food. I really can't think of another blue, like you said, blue chip stock like General Mills, but
Kellogg maybe, but even then, I feel like we're pushing it.
yeah, maybe. Like
Nestle.
obviously you can call your Coca-Colas and your Pepsis, but General Mills just is like on the top of that heap, I feel, right?
Oh, I mean, like they're very diversified across the store. I mean, you want ice cream, General Mills. You want frozen vegetables, General Mills. You
Yeah.
want cereal, General Mills.
Yeah, yeah.
It's there.
All right, enough of our love fest with General Mills. Are we going to touch on UniFirst, or are we going to jump into the after hours on Wednesday?
I once again don't know what UniFirst is.
All right, fair enough. I do not know either, so we'll get right on to Wednesday after close on Wednesday. Oh, BlackBerry. Break out your Blackberries.
I'll let you handle this. So another company that we have talked to that I also don't know what they do, Micron. I don't know what Micron does. I feel
Honestly,
like
I do not
it's
know either. I do
yeah.
know that when I was a kid in the 1980s, growing up in Canada, Micron was a hockey skate brand, but I have a feeling this is not the same company.
I would say I know it's something with computers, and I know like they're bundled in a lot with like TSM, AMD, Intel, Qualcomm. So like I feel like they probably do something in the AI space. I just don't know what. Either
Right.
way, stock's down 10% this week. They did beat earnings, 62 cents a share actual, 51 cents a share estimated. Um, I did not do like any research into this at all because I actually, yeah, I have no idea what Micron does.
All
Sorry,
I know
guys.
is that I am 110% sure this is not the hockey skate company from
Yeah,
the 1980s.
revenue was up 82% to 608 a year over year to 6.81 billion. Growth is up. So then why is it down? Oh, they lowered guidance. They really lowered guidance. I don't have the numbers on that, but apparently they really, really lowered guidance.
All right, fair enough. Because yeah, all the other numbers sound good, like going up and up and up, and then you're like,
Yeah,
oh,
sounds great.
okay.
We can talk about.
BlackBerry. Honestly, I have nothing on BlackBerry. I just love
I
reminiscing about 15, I guess actually nearly 20 years ago now, right? The whole everyone. Well, I definitely loved the Torch, the Curve, and
They're not profitable. They lost 3 cents a share. I did not look up BlackBerry at all this week. They're up 7.5%. They lost 3 cents a share. They were expected to lose 4 cents a share though. So that's a 25% earnings beat. And I know we looked this up last time. I know
yeah,
they
they're
do
into
something in the
cybersecurity
software
now.
space.
They don't obviously they don't make smartphones anymore.
That's
They just
right.
said Apple and Samsung, you guys knock yourselves out making smartphones, and we're going to go into cybersecurity now.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you remember because I did not. I guess then moving on to the real winner, the second biggest winner of the week, noted high tech San Francisco based firm. One of those things is a lie. Levi Strauss down 16.5% on the week. They did beat earnings, 16 cents a share actual, 11 cents a share estimated.
Okay, that's good.
I once again, okay, yeah, demand for denim right now, which I mean, Levi is the jean. I don't know if they do anything else. I think it's just jeans. Someone out there is probably yelling at me with like Levi brand shoes or something.
Yeah,
But
who knows? Because I would only think of them as, you know,
let's
have you
see.
heard the term Canadian tuxedo? Have you ever heard that term?
I have not.
Yeah, so basically, and it's a rarely used term, but a Canadian tuxedo is like jeans, like jeans pants and a jean jacket.
Good to know. So I'm kind of just scrolling their website right now. Okay, they do more than jeans, but jeans are definitely the big thing that they do.
Yeah.
And yeah, demand for jeans in the U.S. Demand for denim, anything, jean jackets, jean shorts, jeans, pretty down right now. I don't know. I personally don't know if that's a pricing thing or it's a styling thing. As you can see by like the same two hoodies that I rotate between every week that Dave and I do this, style isn't exactly my something I feel comfortable discussing because I don't know anything about it. But yeah, jeans. Do you wear jeans? Everyone in the chat, do you wear jeans regularly? Do you not wear jeans?
I honestly I do all winter long. Like my job is kind of dress casual, so Monday to Friday all winter
Same.
long I wear jeans, and then actually in the summer because it's so hot where I work, it's we're allowed to wear shorts. So
my boss does not care what I wear, literally ever. It's kind of great.
Moving on from our Levi's and jeans and BlackBerry, here after close Wednesday, Concentrix, AV, AeroVironment, HB Fuller, Jeffries, Miller Knoll, Culp, and then down at the bottom, Franklin Covey.
No idea.
Anything, yeah, like
Nothing,
right? Just why? Why are these even on this graphic? Like, who puts these together? I mean, everyone knows I steal these from another shout out, Dairyland. Shout out to Dairy for letting me quote unquote borrow these every single day.
Isn't it like earningswhisper.com or something that makes those?
Yeah, this is earningswhisper.com, but I get them from him every morning. So
well, yeah, so Earnings Whisper, we know you're in the chat right now. What you doing, bud?
Yeah, like find better companies to put on these for us to talk about.
Also, shout out to the poor intern that has to make those. I used to make
Right?
these every week for the Marketplace newsletter, and I had to stop because it is too much work for not enough payoff.
Right. Thursday. Let's jump over to Thursday. Oh, Walgreens. Oh man. McCormick, Acuity brand, Simply Good, Apogee, Lindsay. That's before open on Thursday. Talk to me about Walgreens. What is going on there?
Bad things, very bad things. I don't know. I've had several bad experiences in Walgreens lately. Stock's down 24% this week. Actually,
that's just this week.
That is since Monday morning.
24%.
I guess technically 23.87.
I'm still calling it a quarter. Like that's
that's a quarter the valuation right there. Still a 10.5 billion market cap, but and they did beat earnings 63 cents a share, or no, they missed earnings. Excuse me, 63 cents a share actual, 71 cents a share expected. Yeah, Walgreens.
But how far are they down? Like in the last 6 months, the last 12 months,
Year
the
to
last
date,
5 years, like
year to date, 53.6% down.
Oh,
1 year, 57.5% down. 5 years, 77% down, and down 82% since IPO in 2014.
oh my God! So basically, over the last year, down by more than half.
Walgreens hit their all-time high on July 31st, 2015, and it's been straight downhill from there.
Wow!
Like you've had a few spikes here and there, but nothing prolonged.
Yeah. And then you said down 78% there. Was that the 5 year?
5 year is 77%.
Yeah, so more than 3/4.
Yes.
What is going wrong with this company?
I saw one take on Yahoo Finance that I thought was hilarious. And they were saying the problem with Walgreens is they refuse to integrate with AI, which
Yeah,
is
but
by
AI is
far
relatively new over the
what
last year,
I
2,
I
3 years,
I
and it
I'm
sounds like
pointing
they've been
this
having
out.
problems for 5, 6, 10 years.
I'm only pointing this out because of how funny I think that was. They're
So
also
you're disagreeing with that because basically what like similar to what I just said is like AI has sort of been uh more whatever over these last couple of years where these guys have been having problems for nearly a decade now.
yeah, and they're also closing like 800 stores in the next like few months. Which, hey guys, there are 2 Walgreens within about a mile of my house. One of them is bad, one of them is good. If you guys at corporate could help me out and close the bad one, I'd actually appreciate it. Which, which I guess to continue on that, the Walgreens, the bad one, is only open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. They're closed weekends.
So
So
again, that doesn't make
yeah,
sense to me. Why are there 2 of them within a mile of you?
that's it. Yeah, the other one's 24 hours.
Yeah, but still, why are there
I
2
know
of them
that.
within a mile of you?
That's what I'm saying too. Like, and it always like if you go like the doc, this is just I complain about my life. If I go to the doctor and I say send it to the Walgreens on this road, they're both on the same road, and they send it to the weekend one, and then if I don't get my prescription by 5 o'clock on Friday, I'm not getting it until Monday morning.
And then you die.
Okay, that hasn't happened yet. If I were dead, I would not be on this
I'm sorry. I was
podcast.
comparing that to the Canadian healthcare system.
I've I've heard a recent story about that let's just say shocked me quite a bit.
Hey, we've got
Canadian
time for a
healthcare.
story before we get into the rest of Thursday's calls because there was nothing on Friday, so we're
I mean
wrapping up here soon.
I can even say my local Walgreens. I was almost robbed this week.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, my wife's sick.
Hold on, this sounds like 2 stories. So robbed at Walgreens, a story about Canadian healthcare system that you heard.
Almost robbed at Walgreens. Canadian healthcare story was somebody was trying to get like a wheelchair ramp built for like their mom or something, and they needed a doctor to sign off on it. And the doctor, instead of signing the paper for the wheelchair ramp, recommended medically assisted self unaliving. I think is how I can say that for the YouTube terms of service.
Yeah.
Which is wildly inappropriate and wrong, just for the record. Like,
yeah.
Then the story, yeah, my wife's sick right now. She's got a little cold, whatever. She woke me up the other morning. She wanted me to go to Walgreens, get her some cough medication. It's like 5 a.m. It's still dark. I pull up in the parking lot, and thank God I backed into my spot because immediately someone pulls in to try and block my car, and 2 guys get out. So that was my Wednesday morning. That was 2 days
It's
ago.
North Carolina, so it's 2 big guys with guns.
I don't know. I did not stick around to find out.
Yeah, fair play, right?
They one of them got a little love tap on the way out, and I have
it
I have
was that serious where you're like, I'm out of here.
I have no regrets. There's my casual story of the week. Also, like, hey, I know we have a lot of FinTwit in North Carolina. Hey, what the heck's happening in this state, guys? I haven't lived here for long, but I've had more crazy stories in this state in the year and a half that I've lived here versus the 24 plus years I lived other places. What's in the water? Tom, outdoor?
Yeah, you guys.
Somebody gotta let me know because this isn't the first time this has happened, and it's not just in my city. I know you both know where I live. Either way, we'll complain about North Carolina later. Overall, I do like it here. We're gonna move on now to little herbs and spices.
McCormick's.
McCormick, which is I don't know. It's so weird to me that they're publicly traded.
Yeah.
But
It does
hey,
seem odd, right?
up 3.5% this week. They hit 69 cents a share. Was their actual 59 cents a share estimated? Yeah, McCormick. I mean, there's not a lot to say about McCormick. 2.3% dividend yield. I mean, down what about? Actually, up about 4% year to date. Down about 8.5% over the last 5 years. Up over 1,000% since the IPO in 2000. I mean, it's kind of the spices company at the grocery store, and I'm pretty sure that's like all they do is spices, herbs, condiments, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that is obviously their core business. And yeah, they probably may have a few other things. Um, what else do we have before open on Thursday? Or we're going to get into the big one of Nike.
Let's just do it, Dave.
Just do it.
Just do it. Hey, I'm getting a dividend from Nike.
Nice.
What? I hold my the market value of my Nike shares is $1.17.
Okay.
Check out my YouTube channel if you want to know why I'm invested in Nike. I didn't pick the stock; my dog did.
Fair enough. Fair play. Oh, so you've got like a similar to the Radish portfolio.
Yeah, well, the difference is for Radish's portfolio, Tom is using his own weights from his own personal portfolio. For my dog video, I let her choose the stocks.
Like how?
Well, Dave, there's a video on my YouTube channel that you can watch where I go into depth and explain everything.
Right. Okay, will do. Will do. That link is not in the description right now, but hopefully I will get it there. Actually, I should have your YouTube channel in this link every week, but next week I'll have it there.
Man, I've been saying this for like 3 months now. I swear I'm gonna start making videos again at some point. I have like 4 fully recorded, ready to go. I need to edit them, and that's always the long thing. But Nike,
that is the hard part.
Let's just do it and hate on Nike shareholders. Nike, guys, what are you doing, man? I've only really been following Nike for the last like year or so. Really, like when I joined up in the marketplace, guys, stock's down 33.5% over the last year, down about 12.5% over the last 5 years, down about 30% year to date, and down a little more than 21% this week.
All right.
They did beat earnings. 99 cents a share actual, 99 cents a share actual, 85 cents a share expected. But your outlook, I mean, I guess the question is, and this is actually a great question for investors. I'm gonna hate on you right now, but like, I also get why you invest in Nike. I'm say this entirely in a joking manner, but I guess the question is Nike falling, or are they a symptom of the market around them? So I'm going to make a weird comparison real quick. But Nike and like we talked about Victoria's Secret a couple weeks ago. Victoria's Secret stock is falling hard right now, or at least they were when you and I talked about them. Not so much because they were doing anything wrong internally, but because that amount of like higher end discretionary spending, Americans just aren't willing to do right now. And if you're going to broadly define Victoria's Secret as higher end consumer discretionary, I would, describe Nike as the same. I mean, I can go get Nike brand socks or Nike brand, or just Walmart brand for like half the price. I mean, granted, it's typically a lower quality product, but still, I mean, same thing. You can go to Walmart and get the things Victoria's Secret sells, or you can go to Victoria's Secret for it, just like Dave does every Friday night.
Actually, I'm just gonna back to the shoes and the Nike. So as everyone knows, I crossed the border there. What was that, about 3 weeks ago now?
That sounds about right.
And so I went to this small town in upstate New York, or small city, Watertown, New York, and there is a mall there called the Salmon Run Mall, and the whole mall is basically for Canadians, right? It's 30 miles south of the border, and so it's literally there for cross-border shopping. And so I'm walking through the mall, and I see this shoe store, and I walk into the shoe store just thinking, oh, maybe the like prices on shoes are like good here, right? And I pick up a pair of shoes and look at a price tag, and honestly I can't even remember if they were Nike or Converse or Reebok or who knows why. I do think they were Nike, and I'm like, it was either $200 or $250, like US, obviously in US dollars in the US. And I'm like, kind of sticker shock, right? Because I'm thinking, oh my God, that's like ridiculously expensive. Less than an hour later, or about an hour later, I'm at the Walmart in in kind of the adjacent town. It's still Watertown, Fort Drum. Fort Drum is like the military base in
Yeah.
upstate New York. And so I'm in the Walmart, and there's like a pair of running shoes for like $19.99.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, for the record, I bought that pair of shoes in Walmart. So it's like, why would I pay 250 US dollars, which for me is like well over 300 Canadian,
Yep.
or $20 US, which is what, about, give or take, say 28 Canadian dollars for me, right? Like, it's like, okay. And so I think that goes exactly to your point of like why, that discretionary spending, that income is like, people are watching their pennies. And
I'll give Nike points on like the quality of their product. Like I've had multiple Nike shoes that have lasted me like a year plus.
right.
And like I also like weirdly remember this. I bought myself like Nike socks like my freshman year of high school, which would have been 2012. I'm still wearing them, no holes or anything. I mean, they
Yeah,
make
so you are
for the
paying
money
for
you
quality.
spend.
So you are paying more for
Yes,
quality. Like, honestly, I'm sure that $20 pair of Walmart shoes will last me. Who knows how? I haven't worn them that much yet, so maybe
but
they'll
yeah,
last me.
but to your point though, I mean, like you're talking about, it is. I mean, it sounds like you. I don't think I've ever spent more than 60, $70 on a pair of Nike shoes. Probably, maybe closer to 100, but I've never gone over 100. But still, it's hard to justify that when you have something for a tenth of the price.
Right. Exactly. And when so many people are just trying to put food on the table, keep a
Oh
roof
yeah,
over their head.
and that kind of has to take priority.
Right. Accolade,
Never heard of it.
American Outdoor Brands,
Nope.
Pinstripes, or are we done?
I'm done if you are.
Yeah. Stop sharing. There we go. Oh man, what a week. What a week here on the Weekly Close Live. Thank you everyone so much for watching. Just getting more and more viewers every week. This is amazing. We're very close to cracking 100 viewers this week, which is fun.
Hey,
And
I'll take it.
yeah, honestly, the replays too on Twitter and on YouTube get quite a few views. So I really appreciate everyone for joining us. Everyone for the comments in the chat. There was a comment from Boomer in the chat, but it was on X. It didn't show up here, which is weird because the comment from Dividend TSX did show up. That was from X also, but it showed up, and the comment from Boomer didn't show up. So I really don't know what happens with the comments here on Restream. I do know all the comments from YouTube show up, so it's just, I guess, a little bit weird.
I don't know,
Odd,
but hey,
awkward.
thanks for. I didn't know Boomer said anything, or else I would have said, "Hey, thanks. If you're still watching, thanks."
Yeah. Okay, like I said, thank you everyone so much for tuning in this week for the Weekly Close Live. Joseph and I will be back again next Friday, as we always are, every single Friday at 5:30 Eastern Time. And if you are watching on YouTube, please be sure to hit subscribe. If you're watching on any of the other platforms, hit that follow button, and we will see you again next week.
You tune in for next week's extra patriotism special for the day after the 4th of July.
Well, it's Canada Day next week too, so
That's less important.
kind of important.
Call me back when you're the freest country on the face of the earth. I can say that because I'm still patriotic because I didn't watch the debate. But we'll get to that.
Oh, we didn't even talk about that debate. That whole. Should we take 2 more minutes and talk about what happened last night? Like, I didn't watch it either, but I saw everything all day today on Twitter, and I was just like, oh my goodness.
There's I didn't watch it live. I've gone through and I've watched some clips and I've read some media coverage, and all I'm going to say is I feel like the clear loser here is America.
Yeah.
Well,
like I said, I am willing to be your next president. Just let me know.
All right, you heard it. Like, if everyone who watches this writes in Dividend Dave, we won't move the needle at all.
Okay. Okay, enough of this. Enough of this. We'll close it out here. Thanks again for watching, everyone. We'll see you again next week.